So my topic today is take back your brain. So what does that mean? Take back your brain. Does it mean that we've lost our brain somewhere? Does it mean it was stolen? No, actually, our physical brains are just fine. However, today's issue is how we use that brain. I would like to share some thoughts with you today about brain education. So, why the brain? Why the brain? Think about that for a minute, and let's think about what we do. What does our brain do? Is there anything that we do that's not controlled by our brain? Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, maybe this or maybe that. I've already been there, and there's nothing. Nothing that humans do is not controlled by the brain. The brain controls everything. For example, our autonomic nervous system controls our heartbeat or our digestion. Now, think another moment. What would happen if we had to think about every breath we take? Do it with me. Let's breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing is so important that if we had to live like that, the essence of our life, the essence of being human would be survival. But that's not true. Our condition is not just a matter of survival, and because of the capacity of our brain, we can afford to be dreamers. We can afford to think about social justice. We can build internet systems. And we can actually consider things like, who am I? Have you thought about that? Who are you? What do you want? What is the purpose of your life? The reason we're capable of that is because of our brain capacity. Our brain allows us those kinds of thoughts. And how do we do this? Oops. Neuroplasticity. Now, there are many reasons that we can do this, but neuroplasticity is what I want to talk about today. What is neuroplasticity? It's the wonderful quality of the brain, adaptability. The flexible nature of the brain allows us to solve problems, to take in information, and it allows us to overcome our fears. In other words, if we decide we want to change our minds about something, our brain can do that. So what I'd like to do is to demonstrate. I would like to do a demonstration for you. It's a simple exercise, and I can't see you very well, so I'm going to assume that you can see me very well. So I want you to take a moment, and I want you to put your hands out in front of your chest. I know this is unusual, but do it anyway. And now make a fist and turn it around and stick out your pinky. And stick out, your thumb and then your pinky. Thumb and your pinky, all right? And now, switch. How was that? Okay, let's try it again. Switch. And switch. And one more time. Switch. All right, stop and shake your hands. Okay. Now, let's try a little brain education. So what we're going to do now is you're going to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you exhale, relax your shoulders. Put a smile on your face. And once again, put your hands out. Make a fist. Turn it around. Thumb and pinky. And now you're going to say, I can do it. I can do it. All right, shall we try one more time? Switch. Switch. Yeah. Keep going. Switch. Switch. And stop and shake your hands. Shake your hands. So, did it get easier the second time? For some of you, it was much easier. For others, need a little more practice. But what's the difference? What are we doing? What we're doing is actually building circuitry in your brain. In other words, what you're doing is teaching yourself to do something. This is one of the reasons that I'm with you today, is that little exercise. Because when I first started doing it, I couldn't do it at all. I was very frustrated by that. But when I learned, I realized something very important. And that is that learning is physical, all right? So what I did was I was a college English teacher at the time, and so I started thinking about that, thinking about the mind, thinking about consciousness, and how to access that, and I'd always been interested in it. But that exercise led me to a discovery of something new, and that was learning takes place in the body. And I also discovered something called brain education. Brain education is a way, is deeply experiential, and it deals with the whole person, emotionally, socially, cognitively, physically. And through brain education, we can access our brains, we can develop our brains, and essentially, we're developing our potential at the same time. And there's also some research these days about the effectiveness of brain education. So I'd like to take a minute, and I would like to talk about 3 studies. Actually, I have slides for only 2. But the Virginia study was conducted with 157 middle schoolers, and this was in Fairfax, Virginia. They participated in brain education classes for only 30 minutes a week for 7 weeks. And the result was phenomenal. First, in self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is our belief that we can do something. There was a big increase in self-efficacy. Also, cognitive strategies. Cognitive strategies is problem solving. And also in self-esteem, confidence. But there was also a reduction in test anxiety and distress levels. Distress levels are worrying in that study. So the reason that that's interesting to me is because it was done over such a short period of time. They only participated half an hour once a week for 7 weeks. So they only had BE 7 times. And there was a result from that. The next study is PS1 from the Bronx. And what's exciting about these results for me is the last one. 53% of the students claimed that there was an increase in how often or that they were always happy. So there's a happiness quotient there too. Now, all of these are affective, meaning emotional, results. However, recently in Arizona, we just finished a study which showed cognitive results. So in this group, there were a bunch of 4th graders, and they participated in BE a little longer than before, 45 minutes a week for 6 weeks. And the result of that was that there's a control group. A control group is the group that doesn't participate in BE, so that you can compare your groups. The BE students, after this experience, were performed much higher than the control group in 3 areas. One is recall, one is information processing, and the third is sequential and quantitative reasoning. So there was a result, which we've been waiting for, a cognitive benefit from that too. So, how can you take back your brain? You can take back your brain by managing your mind and your brain well. You have inside you great power. This power is, everyone has it, not just a talented few. So what this does is it allows us to kind of equalize things. So at the Power Brain Training Center, where I am the manager, we end our classes by saying, take back your brain. So today, I would like for you to do that with me. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and on 3, we're all going to shout, take back your brain. Are you ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Take back your brain! Thank you.